So real quick, people ask me, what do the checks look like in the dump truck space? Today was another day in the dump truck. This is my second day working this week. Today is Tuesday. I got 7.5 hours in yesterday, and I got 9 hours in today. Today was actually a little bit better for me because I actually worked about 8 hours, and I got a ninth hour of travel time because I did one of my clients a favor. So with that being said, I did pretty good today. So that's like an extra $100 for zero work because I was nice to somebody. So some people wanted to know, okay, what do the checks look like? This is a check. I'm gonna pull this check out. I worked 7.5 hours last week. So I wanna see if I can't show y'all this. I'm gonna turn the camera around. So you see that? That's my company name, Demo Dispatch. FHI is the broker that I worked with. Come over here, 8 hours at 80, right? Minus 5%. That was January the 3rd, 2026, and that check is $608. So for 8 hours, that's what I got. So as you see right here, $608 paid to the order of Demo Dispatch. All right. So that's 8 hours minus 5% at $80 an hour. So the average person, you think 6 times 5 is what? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. That's $3K. You do 5 days a week, that's $3,000 a week. What's 3 times 4? 3 times 4 is 12. That's $12,000 a month. If your overhead is somewhere around 5K, right? So you make 12 grand a month minus 5K, that leaves you with what? 7,000. That's 7,000 net after everybody been paid. If you can't do nothing with $7,000 a month, working for yourself without the stress of working for others, then you just can't do well at all at nothing. Because with and I'm not saying get in the dump truck space to do that for the rest of your life, but if that's something that you want to do, that's something that you definitely can do. Take care of your family, raise your children, and live a modest, acceptable life. There's nothing at all wrong with that. Nothing, not one simple thing. But if you want to use the trucking industry as a stepping stone to get to the next level of whatever you want to be, so you might want to, out of that 7,000, your personal expenses might be 4,000. Let's say it costs you $4,000 a month to live. That's, if you sharing rent with somebody, you got rent, food, lights, phone bill, that kind of thing. A lot of that stuff, you're going to write it off into the business, right? So you're not going to pay a certain level of taxes because a lot of your personal or so-called personal situations, which you think is personal, but they're really business. So for example, internet. You need internet to run a business. So you should be writing off that $50 internet bill that you have every month. Not your cable bill, not your YouTube subscription, not your Netflix subscription, but your internet bill, right? Because you need your internet and your computer at home to get emails, to receive emails, to monitor, just whatever you got going on. So you can write that off. Your home office, you work from home. When I get home in the evening, I have to do my paperwork for the day. So when I mean my paperwork, I send a photograph of my hours to my broker, letting my broker know that the client, this is how much work I did for them today on an hourly rate. So my broker knows what to pay me. My broker will get paid later from the client. So that's the purpose. The purpose for a broker, and I'm gonna do another whole video on that. I'm not gonna get into that right now. I'm gonna tell you about the purpose for a broker in the dump truck business later. But I just wanted to show y'all, real simple, what it looks like in the dump truck space. All right.